Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining the TagoIO webinar series 2023. Today we have a special guest. Our partner, RAKWireless, will be contributing to this webinar as well. Today we'll be talking about data collection with RAK Sensors and TagoIO. Again, I'm David Hall. I am a customer success manager here at TagoIO. And from RAKWireless, from the technical marketing team, I have Carl Rowan with us today. Our agenda. Today we'll be talking about sensing, just in a general sense, data collection using WisBlock, WisBlock modules. We'll briefly touch on the IoT ecosystem, some cool things you can do with TagoIO, like analytics and reports. We'll have a live demo for you, and we'll also have a Q&A session at the end. But at any time during the webinar, if you have questions, feel free to post them, and we'll address them at the end of the webinar. So when we talk about sensing in general, you'll notice on the right side, we have some images there from the WisBlock series from RAKWireless. They have hundreds of sensors. They have gateways and all sorts of things for your IoT needs. And we're talking about sensing. Really, sensors produce output signal of the physical phenomenon, if you will. Different information can be created from basic sensors. Volume can be estimated from distance, temperature, humidity, CO2. It goes on and on. And RAKWireless covers all these areas. You have end devices that process and transmit the information from the sensors to TagoIO in this case. Information can be combined to create new business models and revenue streams. It's really endless. IoT is growing so fast. And as a customer success manager here at Tago, I speak to many different customers across many different verticals, and I see it growing on a daily basis, quite honestly. So to have a partner like RAKWireless working with us here at TagoIO is definitely a benefit for our end users as yourselves. With that, I will pass it over to Carl Rowan.
Thank you for that introduction, David. It's an honor for us from RAKWireless to be invited for this webinar, and we are glad to share what we have for the IoT community from RAKWireless. We believe on the importance of this collaboration, so I will now proceed on what we have on the sensor side. So on this presentation, on this slide, we see different parts of the WisBlock. So basically, WisBlock is a modular IoT platform that we created so that the IoT developers, IoT solution providers can have an easy way to deliver and to create products for their customers. It is easy because you do not need to create your own PCB designs because these are all modular. So basically, the WisBlock has four parts. So we see here it has a base, so it's like some kind of a motherboard, and then we have the core. So it's like the processor of the WisBlock ecosystem. Then you can add now the sensors and the interfaces. So right now we already have more than 100 modules, so we can cover different types of applications, such as the sensors that was mentioned by David earlier, like temperature, humidity, CO2, and as well as different interfaces like RS485, I squared C, SDI12, CAN bus, and many more. So these are the main parts of our WisBlock ecosystem. So here on the next slide, you can see the different WisBlock modules that we have. So these are just the examples. As I said, we already have hundreds of modules available. On the right side, you see the exploded view of WisBlock. So as I said, it's a modular one. So you see that the base is on the lower part. If you're looking on the right side, the lowest part is the base, and then as you go up, you see the core, then the small sensor boards, and then the interfaces. So these are just an exploded view, but if you combine them together, it look like a flat one board. So on the left side, you will see different modules that we offer. So these cover different types of from sensors, like the environment sensors or non-contact sensor, proximity sensors. We also have interfaces, as I said, like RS485, 420 milliampere protocol, CAN bus, SDI 12. So this kind of interface boards allow us to integrate third-party sensors and probes to the WisBlock. Let's say you have a soil moisture that we do not provide from third-party vendor, you can still use WisBlock for that. We also have some standard I/O interfaces like I/O expander if you need more I/O pins. We have PWMs if you need to control motors or LEDs. We have expanders like for different protocols at ADC if you need more channels for analog input. We also have that. And then you also have the popular third party standard interface like the Quick, the Microbus. So you can still integrate these sensors and boards in this kind of standards to WisBlock. Also, we have LCD and display interfaces. So basically, WisBlock is an all-in-one solution that you can combine together to deliver a product to your customers, initial product to your customers. So WisBlock is programmable. So basically, you have the freedom to create the type of application that you need. You customize it. You can create different kinds of algorithms in it, and it's compatible to Arduino IDE. So it supports open source libraries that we see on GitHub on different community repositories. So this easy to use, and this thing is important to the community of our IoT developers across the globe. We also have RUI3, so it's a framework that we develop in RAKWireless, in which the code that you develop on one core board is compatible to another core board. So if the one core board has if you want to put a different core board, let's say the first core board that you have only has LoRa, and then the other one you need to add Bluetooth, the LoRa part of your code can still run on the new board with Bluetooth. So you do not need to rewrite the code. So we have this kind of mantra like write code once, and then it will work on all modules. So yeah, actually, aside from this, we also have different tutorials in YouTube. And on our documentation center, most of the modules have quick start guides. So you guys can start immediately tinkering and building stuff using WisBlock. So I was able to share you about WisBlock, like what is WisBlock, the features of the WisBlock, the parts of the WisBlock. So now I'm going to share why WisBlock. So what is the benefit, or why should we bother trying to use WisBlock on our IoT project? So WisBlock is designed to have a quick prototype to deliver to our customers. Like we can give them a fast customized solution, like they have a certain pain points that we need to solve. So with WisBlock, we can put together different kinds of modules and quickly deliver it to our customer. So basically, we have this process like we do not need to create this PCB, a long duration of development just to create a POC or prototype for customers. You can use WisBlock for that. And these are some of the illustrations of possible applications with WisBlock. So as you see here, we have this kind of enclosure as well. So this is called Unify enclosure. So we designed this to be compatible with WisBlock. It is outdoor rated, IP67. It's very thick. It will not, even if you expose it for a year under the sun, it will not get brittle. It will not crumple. It's very thick. We also have a built-in antenna on it. So it's really good that we complete the whole package of developing the prototype, not just the boards, but we also cover or we also cater the enclosures. So here we have on the left solar panel to recharge the board the to recharge the battery inside. So if you have outdoor installations or projects, it will recharge the battery. And then on the middle, you see there's a GPS antenna there because this is a combination of LoRa and cellular. So basically, we have this product that both wireless protocol is possible. On the right side, you have the field tester. So these are all made out of WisBlock. So right now. And that's all for WisBlock. I'm passing out the presentation to David to discuss more about the IoT ecosystem and other possibilities on integrating this hardware to the software of TagoIO.
Thank you, Carl. Very nice. We'll revisit you at the live demo. So what you're seeing here is a very, very basic view of the IoT ecosystem, right? On the far left, you have, what your sensors attached to. You're monitoring a tractor or some piece of equipment, temperature. It could be many different things. Again, this is just an example. And then to the right a little bit, you have your gateway. And then to the right again, you have your network integration, whether that's Senet, Helium. And this is only a few that Tago offers, by the way, that we integrate with. We have quite a few more. And then you see TagoIO. And when you think of TagoIO, think of it in two different facets, if you will. You have the developer application to where you can develop your dashboards, your integrations, and things like that. And then down at the bottom, you see Tago Run. And when we refer to Tago Run here at TagoIO, we're really referring to the end user application that's going to interact with what you've built in your developer account. There's lots of capabilities with Tago. Again, we're only brushing on a few here, but you can integrate with a CRM system, Google Analytics, SAP, Jira, the Weather Channel. There's all kinds of integrations that you can do, and obviously we have enterprise and then the developer account that I was speaking to, right? And again, you have your end users. So at Tago, we do offer an app that you can totally customize for yourself, right? You can white label it. It'll remove all references of Tago. If you're not ready to do that, you can just get the app and then produce it to your end users so they can see the really cool stuff that you are building. It's very, very effective, and it's highly popular by my customer base here at Tago. If you think of an integration overview, you have a custom portal to display location and status, report on KPIs, like I said, with integrations with third party systems, configure parameters, and there's so much more. But if you look at the little graph here, the flow chart, is we have our equipment on the left, and you can even use, it's not required, but you could have edge computing with Tago Core. And Tago Core is free. It's great if you have any network latency, things like that. There's lots of benefits for Tago Core, and you could visit our site to learn more about it, or you can just ask for a demo from me. And I'll be glad to give you a demo on not just Tago Core, but really Tago in general in all. And then you have control for what your end users are doing or they're seeing. And then obviously you have TagoIO and the mobile app. And then you have enterprise integration as well that I mentioned a little earlier. So TagoIO is very verbose in what you can do. There's so many things you can do. I work with customers all the time as a customer success manager. And customers, when they first come to me and maybe they're new to IoT, they just think of visualization, right? The data visualization. But Tago is much more than that, right? It's really much more than that. You can really control what your end users are being able to interact with your Tago run. So you could have permission levels. You could have administrative levels to where maybe they can do lots of different things, and then you have a level below that to where maybe they can only do a few things, and then you have basically a read-only view if you choose to do that. It's all permission based on how you want to have your users interact with your application. So it's very powerful on that. And when I say it goes beyond just IoT, it really does. I briefly spoke about reporting, and I'll talk about that a little bit more here, but there's so much you can do with Tago outside of just displaying the data. Of course, displaying the data is the cool part, and that's what most people like. But again, just keep in mind, there's so much more to learn about Tago than just the visualization. Speaking of data visualization, one thing that I take great pride in, really, here at Tago, is that we offer out of the box templates, right? So if you're new to IoT, or maybe you just want to see what something's going to look like, is we have templates out there that you can download to your profile. When I say profile, think of it as your developer account. And we have ones in different verticals, right? In supply chain, industrial, items like that. And you can download these, as I mentioned. And once you download those to your profile, you own them. It could be simulated data just so you can get a feel of how it's going to look. But as I said, since you own it, you can edit these. You can add a real device to them. So think of it as the framework for you, right? It's just already there, ready for you to use, which is great. They're heavily used. We also have a Kickstarter. It's more for developer driven, but it's not that complicated to get that going. But I highly suggest that you go to our website, look at our templates. If you go to the developer tab on our site, you can just go down to templates. You'll see Kickstarter there and many other things that are helpful. So these are really to get you started and get you inspired, right? Of what you want to see, how is it going to look like, and how am I going to use Tago for this? Use cases. This is only a few. Obviously, metering and submetering, cold chain management, real-time location sensing. I'm seeing a big push in a lot of different areas. But if I had to pick a few, I would say agriculture, cold chain management is another big one, as well as supply chain. And of course, smart cities is a big one, and it always will be. Smart cities are growing, and we have many customers across all different verticals that really take advantage of the power of Tago and what it can offer you. Analytics and reports. So this is just a couple examples, but using the RAK Sensor Hub, you could detect variances on field information, set up real-time alerts and reports, real-time data visualization, and analytics. And again, that's just touching the surface there a little bit, but there is just a lot that you can do with this. And when I say creating reports, you can have reports go out, and I'll talk about this a little briefly, a little bit more in the webinar here. But for the reports is you can create a beautiful PDF report. You could have it go out on a schedule, or you could send it out, on a one-time basis or many times. However you want to do that is you can do the reports, and then obviously the analytics, which is a very nice feature to have. When you think of additional platform resource, you see on the far left, business rule and case. In this particular case, you have a map with a pin. And in that pin, you see a picture there. And what the information is going to be, it could be anything. It could be a picture of your equipment that sensor is attached to. It could be a picture of an employee if you're using Tago in that way, and things like that. So it's very, very configurable. And speaking of alert setup, so when you think of alerts, you can do SMS, you can do email, you can do push notifications, and those alerts can be based on whatever your parameters are. If a temperature of something is too high, send an alert. If it's too low, send an alert. CO2 pressure too high. So you guys kind of get it, right? So the alerts, and it's not, I mentioned 3 different types of alerts. You could use all 3 or just one. So alerts are heavily used across the platform for many different cases. And then we have the custom PDF reports. Again, when I speak to customers, they're like, I didn't know you had that capability for a custom PDF report. Yes, we do. And it's very easy to set up and use the custom PDF reports. So again, all this is on our site. You can contact me directly for a demo, and I can go over all these things in detail with you. Now it is live demo time. Carl, I'm going to hand it back to Carl. So he's going to show you a few quick things. And then after the live demo, before we get to Q&A, I would like to share my screen real quick and just show you a couple resources on the Tago website that will help you.
So for our live demo, thank you, David, for the giving us elaboration on the feature that is available on TagoIO. Now we're going to do a live demo. So we created a WisBlock module here. So I have here my module. So I combined different sensors in my board, and it is connected via LoRa to the Things network. So we're using the Things network as a LoRaWAN network server. So I will show you in a while, and then it is integrated to TagoIO via a webhook. So let me share now my screen. So now you see my account in the Things network. So this is the real-time data that is coming from my WisBlock board with multiple sensors attached to it. So you can see I have different parameters here, like the humidity, air temperature, lux, motion, pressure, temperature. These are just some of the parameters that I'm monitoring on my WisBlock board. And this is integrated to TagoIO. So to do the integration, it's very easy. You just have to go on the integration and then webhooks. And from here, I already added the integration. So this one is running. So the status is healthy. If you need to add other integration, you just need to click webhook and then look for TagoIO. So you can look here, here. So once you click TagoIO, you just only need one parameter. It's very easy. It's one of the easiest integration that you can use here in the Things network. So once we're done on the setting up the webhook, you can now proceed on creating your dashboard on TagoIO. So I will now switch on the TagoIO dashboard. So now you're seeing the real-time data as well as the line graph or historical data of the sensor board that I have. So in this demonstration, I'm showing the temperature, humidity, and then the pressure. So these are the values that we have. And then let's say for the temperature, we have Fahrenheit, but we can switch that to Celsius easily using the Tago IO platform. And then here you can see the graph. So we can disable if you want to see just one parameter. Let's say you want to see the temperature. You can see it here. It's going down. It's going up, and things like that. So this is I already created this. So if you want to add more widgets, you need to add more data to be shown. You can go on edit mode. So you have to click here on the upper right, and then you can click on the add widget. So when you click this add widget, the plus button, you can see different options that you have in TagoIO. Like you can add maps, you can have different cards. There's so many things that you can add, which I will let you do the experimentation once you done exploring TagoIO. And also here I can show you a two different dashboards, but they're the same values. But as you see, this one, the second one that I show, has a moving background. So it's a video. You can have that. So that's one cool thing as well. You can have dynamic background on your dashboard, which can be easily configured in TagoIO. So aside from this, David already explained about Tago Run. So we will now explore. I will now do a demonstration on Tago Run. So to easily go on Tago Run of this application, we can just click this Run button here, and then we can go on the link down below. So you see here, the WisBlock.tago.run. So we need to click this, and then I will move on that tab here. So this is the Tago run of that dashboard that we created. So you see we have a good dynamic background. We have an email login, password. You can do a sign up. So I already have an account here. So I will just log in. So carl.RAKWireless.com. And then when I sign in, I can now see the dashboard that we created. So basically, this is the Tago run. You can now click here, the two dashboard that we have earlier, that we created earlier. So yeah, you can still modify this dashboard. You can do some customization, like David said. You can add some alert. So basically, this is how we integrate the hardware to the platform. Now we see more insightful data than what we have if we do not if we just have the hardware. It will not make sense. So we need this visualization tool that we have. So this is really important on our IoT project. So I hope this quick demonstration is meaningful and we're able to show you the integration of the hardware and the software. So I'm going back now to David to share more about references, how we can check for things, to how we can start working on this.
Thank you, Carl. Real quick, if you want to learn more, I'm just going to go over briefly the Toggle website because there's some really cool things that can really inspire you and get you going. Um, you can visit TagoIO, obviously RAKWireless.com. You can create a free account. I get asked all the time as a CSM, does a free account is it a trial period? No, it's not a trial period. It's really to get you inspired and get you going on TagoIO. And we also have the Learning Center. So quickly, before we get to Q&A, I would just like to share my screen and show you some quick self-help. First off, obviously, I'm on the main Tago website, right? If you go to resources, here you're going to find webinars. So you can sign up for upcoming events that are coming. We have much more coming, by the way, in the TagoIO Webinar 2023 series. With more partners, we have technical webinars, we have how-to videos. Basically, anything you want to do on Tago, you're going to find on our website. We have over 500 devices, and we're adding devices literally daily. We are constantly adding devices. But one thing to really help you guys get started is one of them is the dashboard templates, right? And I briefly talked about that in my presentation, but this is what I was talking about. If you come here, you can watch a video on it. You can see how it works and things like that. But these are the templates that you can download. And as I mentioned earlier, once you download them, you own them. You can use a custom HTTPS device, basically a fake device, to simulate the data coming into your dashboard. So it's really easy, literally 3 clicks, and boom, you have these dashboards in your profile to use. So highly recommend use these. They're there for you for that. And then also quickly, we have our Kickstarter. I won't go into the Kickstarter here too much, but basically it's a version of our templates. It's just a little more advanced, right? It has a little more features in it and things like that. And if you think of our Learning Center, which I'm very excited about the Learning Center, we have 2 different modules. We have a fundamental module, and then we have a developer module. And really, at the end of these, you can you can do a certificate if you want, but the modules themselves, the learning modules themselves, are free to you. It's really good for beginners. Again, I speak to customers all the time, and they really don't know how to get started, and I show them the templates, and they get started with that. But they really want to learn more. They're curious. They want to learn more. So they will go in here, and they will actually take the courses for free, and then I'll show you the courses real quick. And here are the courses that we have. Again, all these are free. You can take these and you don't have to take them in order. Maybe you just want to learn about analysis, right? That's a big one. A lot of people want to learn about analysis and things like that. And then also quickly, I spoke about, excuse me, our webinars. Here's our webinars, but where I point a lot of people to is the how-to videos. So again, that's one thing I take pride in working here at Tago. We take very serious self-help content, if you will, videos, documentation, things like that, to really get you inspired and really get you to where you want to be. And these how-to videos are extremely powerful. When I first came to Tago years ago, this is where I started, was looking at the how-to videos to see how everything worked and how I could build my dashboards from the ground up. So just real quickly, there's a lot of information on our site. Take advantage of it. One thing I will like to point out as well is you can ask for a demo from me. And to do that, you just go to our site and you just click on demo, ask for demo. And you can do that very easily. Also, we have our help center. In our help center, we have a community and a knowledge base. You can post in there, or you can just read our documentation in our knowledge base. So again, very powerful. Many, many avenues for our users to get up to speed and really dive deep into Tago and what it can do. Okay, so as we said, it seems that we don't have much questions. I believe we don't have any questions right now, but Feel free to email me, david.hall@tago.io, with any questions. If you have any questions for Carl, he is available as well. You can obviously visit our websites to gain more information and also speak to us in person. With that, I would like to thank you, Carl, so much for your time today. Very nice. I look forward to our partnership. It's been great so far. And I think we're just going to continue to grow this partnership. And it was a pleasure working with you today on this. So thank you.